Smooth Gang, Shooter Crew. What's good with y'all? It's your boy Mr. Smooth 152, aka the Shooter, and you already know what it is when you see my face up on the screen, right? Yeah, story time for that ass. What's good with y'all, Smooth Gang and Shooter Crew? That's what's up. Salute y'all for getting the numbers running up. I need 100 likes on the last video. Know what I mean? So let's get 100 likes on that last video right there. I appreciate y'all. Tell a friend to come through. Hit that smash that like button, hit that sub button, and become smart of the Smooth Gang. You already know what it is on this side. All love, right? Yeah. Tell a friend to be a friend. You know what I mean? Come on through. But yo, let's run them numbers up. Let's get these numbers up. You know what I mean? 200 likes, 200 views. I know y'all can make that happen. Something light for y'all. You know what I mean? So let's get right into the story time. This right here, today's flavor, is 3 times crazy. You know what I mean? Or what else they call it is 3 times cookies. So this is what we're about to get into. So boom. This story takes place a year after I got shot. I got shot in 04. This story takes place in 05. I was living up in Orange. Know what I mean? On this block called Chapman and shit. And my brother, Jim Jones, lived around the corner on Frankfurt. You know what I mean? I had just moved from Scotland Road around the corner from the nigga, so now I done moved a couple of blocks away from the nigga, so this is where I'm at now. So this is 2005, a year after I got shot. You know what I mean? And I had met up with this dude named Binky. This is what this story is about. This nigga named Binky right here. This nigga was something different. From the day I met him, you know what I mean? He was cool, but it was just something about that nigga that just said, nah, he ain't the nigga that you wanna get too cool with, or you don't want to be on that nigga bad side. He was somewhere in between that type shit. Like, he could be trusted to a certain extent. That's how he gave that vibe. Trust me as long as you want to, but if you cross me, I'm gonna go fuck you. That's the vibe he gave off. So this is who this story is about right here. This nigga named Binky, right? So one day, me and my brother, Jim Jones, was riding around one day. And we had pulled up on Teller Street to the corner store. And I had jumped out, go in the store and get some Dutchess and some shit like that. Ran up in the store, and I was coming out. The store and shit, right? And Binky was walking up, him and his mans. So when they was walking up, I was walking to the car. And he was like, hey, yo. So I turned around and looked. I was like, yo, what's up? We spoke, know what I mean? Chit-chatted for a second, know what I mean? Kicked it for a second. He like, yo, where you about to go? I said, me and my brother about to slide out, know what I mean? He was like, yo, that's your brother? I'm like, yeah. So he walked up to the car, he spoke to my brother and shit. And from there on, every time he seen my brother, he would ask that nigga, yo, take me to the liquor store, take me to do some sales or some shit like that. That's how my brother told me that, how they got somewhat cool, right? So boom. We used to cop our bud from this store called The Hitch on Main Street. Anybody from East Orange know about the store that used to be back in the day on Main Street. Used to be a clothing store called The Hitch. My man Poppy Stores used to run that shit too. This was about the time Poppy Stores was working up in The Hitch. But he wasn't there this day. And it was a dark-skinned kid he used to work in there with that sold weed too and shit. Some dark-skinned, ugly-ass nigga with dreads. So I came in there, and me and my brother came in there, and we copped some bud from the nigga and shit. And we skated. Now, keep in mind, I just told you about this ugly, dark-skinned nigga with dreads, right? Don't forget about that. He's another part of the story. So boom. We cop the bud, we jump in the G-Ride and we slide out. I don't know where the fuck we ended up going. I think we ended up going across town some motherfucking way to one of our old hangout spots and shit, Weekway Park. Know what I mean? We used to go park the car by the motherfucking baseball field and go sit by the water and smoke and drink and shit. So boom, we went to Weekway Park, sat over there, got a 6-pack, got over there by the water, rolled up and started smoking and shit. Boom. So we go back to the hood after we do all that shit, right? We run into Binky. Binky like, yo, I got them E-pills. You got E-pills? Since when you start selling E-pills? Yeah, I could have come up. I could have come up. Oh, all right, cool. So he was like, yo, try this. So he gave me and my brother one. I'm not a pill popper. I don't really pop pills like that. So I'm looking at this shit like, oh, all right, it's a G lady. He like, that shit gonna get you fucked up. But if your first time ever taking that shit, don't take the whole thing. That's a double stack. This shit was about like this motherfucking thick. Double stack. Talking about, yo, if you never took one of them shits, cut that shit in half and take half and then rock out. So my brother was like, yo, I'm good with these shits. I throw these back all the time. He threw his shit back, hit his water. So I took a razor and I cut my shit in half. Boom. I took my shit, put my shit in a little empty baggie, other half an empty baggie and shit, put it in my pocket. We went in the crib and rocked out for the rest of the night on my sun porch and shit. Binky dipped off and went home. Or wherever he went. Me and bro went upstairs, sat on my motherfucking sun porch, and was burning down all night and shit, right? The next day, we see Binky. He walk in his pit. He's like, yo, what's good with y'all niggas? Shit, just coming out the crib and shit. He like, I'm about to go get me a motherfucking fix. I mean, we'll give you a couple of E-pills and shit. Y'all, what's up? I'm like, nah, we good. I said, I'm good. Bro was like, I don't give a fuck if you copy this for me, you know what I mean? I'll hit you when you come back. He's like, you gonna be right here? He's like, yeah. So he walked off like a half a block. And then he turned back around and came right back. He's like, yo, you driving, won't you just take me? He said, what you gonna do with the dog? He's like, I'll take my dog in the house right quick. And he ran off. Took the dog in the crib and came right back. You know, yo, take me around the corner. I'll go get the shit. Copy one and got bro one too. Know what I mean? What up? Said, all right, fuck it. You gonna stay here? I'll stay here and shit, right? So I'm about to walk to the store. And we meet you back at the crib. So I walked over to the store and shit. Boom. Go to the store. Caught me a pack of Newports. And I copped like about 3 Dutches and shit. And I 3 Dutches and I walked out the store. I go back around the corner to the crib. And I go upstairs. So I'm eating on the sun porch for these niggas to pull back up. So when I see them pull up, I go back outside and shit. So we standing in front of the house by the car and shit. So we decided to walk up the block to the little garages where my man Ab used to sell his bud and shit at right there and shit, right? I got a story about that nigga too. That shit was some funny, crazy shit. I never thought I'd see no shit like that before in my life. But that was some funny shit. The Ab story is coming up next. You know what I mean? Next week sometime. You know what I mean? The Ab story. That shit was funny. But yeah, we go up there by the garages and shit. And we roll up. When we get up there by the garages and shit, we roll up and start walking down the driveway. And we see the garage door open where my man Ab be at. So we walk down there and shit. And Ab in the garage with a dog. We go sit in the garage with him and shit, burn up and shit. And we sitting there laughing and joking and hee-hee-ha and shit like that, right? So Binky was like, yo, I'll be back. I'm about to slide out. I gotta go handle some business. I bet. So he slides out. As soon as he leave, the nigga Ab was like, I don't like that nigga, yo. It's something about that nigga I don't like. He just too sneaky for me. Right? So he goes on about the situation. That nigga he's too sneaky for me. He up to no good all the motherfucking time he come around. He always snooping and looking around for shit. I don't trust that nigga, yo. I'll never serve that nigga. So boom. We sit around there with my nigga Ab for a minute and shit, right? We slide out like about an hour. Jump in the car, and we go to Main Street. We go to Main Street. We looking for the ugly dark skin nigga with the dread, right? Nigga said he on this block some motherfucker where over there by the park. They told us to go by the damn. They told us to go over there by Colgate and shit, right? So we go over there by Colgate. Ain't nobody in the park. So down the street from Colgate is the motherfucker chicken shack on Park Ave right there. So we shoot the motherfucker Park Ave to the chicken shack right there. Boom. We jump out the car, go up in the chicken shack. This nigga in the chicken shack. Now, we just seen this nigga yesterday, right? Me and bro, just seen this nigga yesterday. We got some butter for this nigga. He was fine. Why today, 24 hours later, we see this nigga, right? Nigga in the chicken shack. He got a hoodie on. It's summertime outside. It's summertime outside. This nigga got a hoodie on, and he got something like a scarf or something wrapped around his head. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck wrong with your face? This nigga say, I got robbed. We just seen you yesterday. Where the fuck did you get robbed at? He like, after I closed the store yesterday and got off work, I was up in the gate and shit. And the motherfucking bully of the hood come through, shaking niggas down. Man, who the fuck is the bully? That nigga Binky. Binky did this to you? He was like, yo, I'm in the park. This nigga asked me where the bud at. I'm thinking he on some cool shit, know what I mean? I don't know nothing about this nigga until after the fact, after I told niggas what happened. They're like, that's the bully. We never called him that. His name is Binky. You know what I mean? So this nigga says, he proceeds to tell me and bro, nigga caught me slipping in the park yesterday. He said he wanted some bud. So I served him 2 Doms, right? The nigga grabbed the shit off the table. And when he grabbed the shit off the table, I'm sitting like this. And I put it next to my arm. And I'm sitting at the table like this with my hands like this. This nigga grabs the weed and takes my wrist and throws a handcuff on my shit. And handcuffs me. And proceeds to beat me the fuck up and rob me. Nigga broke his shit and robbed the nigga. Took all his money, took all his weed, everything. This nigga out here with his shit swole up with like a scarf tied around his motherfucking head with a hoodie on in summertime weather. Like, damn. What the fuck? He tried to stall a nigga and everything. Yo, the nigga would not stop. Yo, he just kept going until I said, fuck it. And told him where the fuck the money was at. He was never gonna find my shit. Fuck, did you have your shit? My shit was in my shoe, my nigga, under my soul. Me and bruh started laughing like, oh shit. He said he clapped my shoes and everything. He was up and in my shit and he didn't even think about pulling the soles up. They look brand new. So he thought it was brand new. I had my shit underneath my sole, like in my sneaker. So he ain't never pulled my shoes out of nothing of that shit. So when he threw my sneakers back down, I put my shit back on. As I'm putting my shit on, the nigga just cocked back and caught me. Bow! And broke my shit. I'm just like, oh shit. As I'm putting on my sneakers, he just leaking this shit. Like, damn. He said my shit was hanging. And I'm still handcuffed to the shit. Like, yo, this nigga really handcuffed this nigga and whooped his ass. And then he just said, fuck it. It's right there in my shoe, man. Take the shit. So Bink got his shit out the nigga, know what I mean? Took his weed, took his bread, and got up out the park. I don't know if he let him go after handcuffs. Well, of course he did. And he went about his motherfucking business. But that nigga Bink is a crazy motherfucker, yo. Bink is like the D-boy of the fucking hood if you don't know who that nigga is. And he on his bullshit. That nigga eat up. Yeah, he on you. He'll get on you. Know what I mean? I ain't never had a problem with the nigga like that. Know what I mean? Nah. Me and bro ain't never had a situation with the nigga. Know what I mean? We was cool with the nigga, so I'm good with the nigga. But we just knew what he was on. When that nigga said I'm on 3 or 4 of them shits, yo, get the fuck away from that nigga. Don't set yourself up, cause he gonna get you. He gonna get you. That brain, while he on them throwbacks, he's scheming and thinking. He gonna get you some type of way. You gonna come off of something. You gonna come off of something, whether it's weed, some pills, some bread. You gonna come up with something like, yo, it's mandatory. When Bink come around, like I said, you better tuck your shit and make sure you can't find your motherfucking money because he on you. You know what I mean? That nigga Bink is fucking retarded. You know what I mean? So he was telling us what happened and shit, right? So after that, so you ain't got no bud and shit. He like, yeah, my man got some bud right here. So we caught the bud from him and shit. Boom. And we was like, yo, get your ass back in order. You know what I mean? Lay low. Get your face fixed. And then pop back out. You know what I mean? Let us know what's good. You still gonna be at work? He's like, yeah, I'll go back to work, you know what I mean, next week. All right, no doubt. Tell Poppy I said what's good when you go back over there if I don't see him before you. All right, cool. So we slid up out of there and shit, jumped back in the car and went back to the hood. We gets back to the hood and we coming down Center Street, right? We coming down Center Street to the top of my block. And we get to the top of my block. We gotta make a left to come in. Come down my block. Binky used to be in the building right on the corner of Center Street. Corner of Center in my block right there. I used to live on Chapman Street. Know what I mean? So he used to be in that building right there in the corner. So as we whip in the corner, he coming out the building. Yeah. So we start laughing and shit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, this nigga comes out the building as we turn the corner and shit. So I do like this until we come down the street. We pull down, parked in front of my house. He come around the corner, come down the block. So me and bruh standing by the car, the trunk of the car and shit, light up a cigarette. And he come around the corner talking this shit on the phone. He get off the phone and shit, walk up on us. And me and bruh looked at each other, looked at this nigga, and start laughing. What the fuck y'all laughing at? Yo, we just heard a story about you, nigga. And like, yo, what the fuck you here? I said, what you do yesterday? He looked at me like, what the fuck you talking about? I said, you taking hostages in the park and shit? And we started laughing. He was like, hey, yo, who told you that? The nigga that you did it to. He's like, yo, you ain't that nigga? I said, yeah, we just caught some blood from the nigga and shit. He still got blood? I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So he was telling the truth. You know, that nigga shit leaking in the park. Yo, tell us why that nigga got a scarf holding his face together right now with a hoodie on in the fucking chicken shack, standing there like this, talking like, yeah. Like he got his shit wired right now, son. He's like, yeah, I know. One hit, broke his shit while he's putting his shoe on. His shit was leaking right there. Leaking. This shit was swinging. That nigga took forever to give me the bread. If you would have gave me shit from the get-go, you still had your face. I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, if you would have gave it up the first time, you would have still had your motherfucking face. But no, you made me go through that bullshit, all that checking and talking to you, threatening you, all that shit, and then you gonna finally say, it's in my shoe after I break your shit? Man, you could have saved your face. So he's like, what else he tell you? And he just told the story what happened and shit, and you just handcuffed the nigga. It's like, he's like, I was fucking around. I had this shit in my pocket. I forgot I had it in my pocket. When I hit my hand like this to my pocket, like, yo, we hit the fucking, oh. So I snapped them shits out and handcuffed his ass up. You know what I mean? So he couldn't run. And went to work on his ass. Oh, shit, that's crazy. Left the nigga in the park leaking. His face was hanging. He said this shit was just swinging and shit. Bow! Caught it one time. Shit's cracked. So we laughed about this shit. He's like, I'm about to roll up. We about to roll up too. Fuck it. Blunt for blunt. So we sat right there in the back of the car. We rolled up and shit. And we were smoking. He like, they got some more weed up. I was like, nah, here we was the man and shit. We got it from the man and shit like that. He like, y'all lying. He got the bud. I'm going back over there and get his ass again. Like, nah, for real, son. Got it from his man. He ain't got no bud. I think you took everything he had. Because when we had them in the chicken shack, he was like, nah, my man right here don't got it. So his man served us and shit. So not unless it's his shit, he told his man to hustle for him right there. Because he trying to keep the heat off of him right quick. But yeah, we got it from his man. He's like, I'm going to catch the nigga again. I'm going to catch him again. So we ended up dipping off after we smoked and shit. And I don't know how, but this is some crazy shit. We all went our different ways, right? We went down the street because we was facing that way to go down the block. We ain't bust no U-turn on my block. We went straight down. Binky went back the regular way he came. So that gave him a little bit of a head start. But we all ended up going to the same place without even telling this nigga, like, we going here. We all ended up going to the same place, right? Boom. We in the car. I don't know how. No, we made one stop first. But the nigga beat us to the motherfucking toast to the town and shit. To the liquor store. Right? It's Friday night. The motherfucking liquor store / club in the back is jumping. So we walk in the motherfucking bar and the liquor store up there turned up and shit. Boom. Music bumping in the background. So we caught the liquor store just before they stopped serving the liquor. So I was like, yo, give me a half pint of Henny. So I got a half pint. I went and got me a deuce, a motherfucking Guinness. I'm good. Got me some more Dutches. Boom. I'm straight. Paid for my shit. I slid by the door, waiting for bruh. Bruh got his shit. We slid out. As we get ready to hit the door, we hear Bink come out the back. Hey, yeah! How the fuck did they get before us? So, boom, we turn around. He's like, yo, you want to eat pill? Bro was like, yeah. He's like, And he walked off. I'll holler at y'all niggas later. So he gave us one big ass double or triple stack G lady, right? So me and bro get in the car. We pull off, go back to my crib. We park in front of my crib this time. Boom. We in front of my crib. And bro go in the motherfucking armrest of the car. Pull out a CD case. Takes the pill. Takes the razor. And breaks the shit, right? Here go the fucked up part. I don't condone nobody doing this shit. No drugs whatsoever. I'm a smoker. No pills. No coke, no dope, none of that shit. I just strictly smoke. But you know when you're young, you experiment on shit. So I went through my pill phase, you know what I mean? Little e-pills once in a while like that. But this is the first time I ever had somebody split a pill and be selfish and take the half that was whole, right? And gave me the half that was all a little chunk and the rest was crumbs and dust, right? So he's like, yo, that's you. What the fuck I'm gonna do with that? He's like, that's the same amount, but I fucked around and when I cracked it, when I split it, I kind of jerked the blade by mistake, and it crumbled up on your side. But it's half. I see that line. Mine is even. Look, it's even. So I'm like, yo, that shit about to fuck me up. So I take the CD case and I just throw that shit back. Go. Not knowing that it's broke up like this, it's gonna hit me faster than his half a pill that he just took. We're sitting in my car, my brother's car. We jump out. We go upstairs. I live on the second floor. Go upstairs. We go straight from the front door, straight to my kitchen. We go sit at the kitchen table. I take my jacket off because my room is right off the kitchen. I take my jacket off, I open my room door, and I throw my jacket on the bed. Close the door, I sit at the kitchen. I break up the bud and shit, split the Dutch, empty the Dutch, sit back down. I promise you, when I sat down and turned the chair around, and I'm sitting at the table like this, I just started gushing sweat. Gush. Everywhere. I'm just leaking sweat. I looked at bruh. Bruh looked at me and turned his head. And I'm just, like, I got a shower on my head. I'm just water everywhere. Sweat. And I'm looking at this nigga like this. Hey, yo, what the fuck? So I end up putting my head down. Boom. Never rolled up the blunt. I got the weed crushed up under my arms like this. My phone rang, right? 5 minutes after I got my head like this, I'm zoning out. I'm aware I hear shit around me, but I just can't hold my head up. Right? So I grab my phone and I just hit the speaker. Boom. Yo. He like, yo, it's my little brother. So like, yo, you in the crib? I'm like, yeah. He like, you would see? I'm like, yeah. He like, after nigga come get us, we can't get home. I said, he hear you? I was like, yo, tell him the address and shit. So he told him the address. He said, no, come with him. You know where we at. We at such and such house. Oh, all right. So I hung up the phone. I said, give us a minute. We'll be there. Hung up the phone. He like, yo, who was that? I said, that's Mike. Right? So I hold my head up. My whole head, face is just leaking sweat. The pill I took hit me so motherfucking hard. That G-Lady double stack, triple stack, whatever it is, being that it was already in powder form and that shit hit my tongue, it hit my bloodstream faster. Yo, I was cooking. I got in the car. I just laid the seat back and opened the motherfucking window so the air could hit me. By the time we got to where we was going, I was raising the seat up, snapping out of the shit somewhat. I'm still foggy and dazed and shit like, yo, I ain't never doing no more E-pills again, yo. This shit got me tweaking. We get back to the crib, make sure a little brother and them get in the crib already, boom. We go upstairs and shit. We back at the kitchen table. Like I said, the weed and the blunt is still there. The blunt probably dried out right now because I left that shit right there on the table, just got up and walked out. So I grabbed the Dutch. I'm looking, trying to make it moist again so I can roll the shit. Boom. I roll the shit up. And I'm sitting there. I hit the blunt 3 times. And that shit made that pill come right the fuck back. Boom. Oh, I'm frying like, yo, what the fuck? That shit crazy. Yo. Don't do that shit, yo. That shit is horrible. Horrible. And stay away from the motherfucking hood bully. Because whatever you got, he gonna take it. That nigga Binky, boy. That was one crazy ass nigga. Much love to that nigga. And it's your boy, Mr. Smooth 152, a.k.a. The Shooter. Until next time, I'm gone.